I left Wahpeton in 1966. I was born at St. Francis, so this is like coming home to me. Yeah. My dad graduated from high school here. He attended science school. I attended science. My kids all three attended science. So this is home. I thought, what am I going to talk to you all about when I come up here, being from Minnesota? Flipping over, I got a lot of grief from some people. You should be in your district. I am actually running for office. So I thought I would just tell you my story about what got me involved. Al Franken, anybody remember him? And all you from North Dakota, don't be giving us any grief. You've given us Conrad, Dorgan, and Pomeroy for years. Anyway, I went to bed and Barack Obama was our president. But I thought for sure Al Franken had lost. He had lost at 4 in the morning when I went to bed. Never stayed up that long for the election returns before. And I got up in the morning and we were going to recount. And I wasn't very happy. And literally standing in front of the mirror one day, and I had whatever radio station was on the radio. Where'd he go? That one we all listen to. I got up in the morning, I'm fixing my hair, and I've got the radio cranked up as loud as it can go so it reaches me, and I heard an ad from Norm Coleman's campaign that said, I'm asking for help with the recount. And right before that ad came out, I was literally screaming at the mirror, how could the Republicans have let this happen? And it was like a thunderbolt, and sorry for you guys who've heard this already. I looked at myself in the mirror and said, what did you do to stop this? Just exactly where were you when all this was taking place? And I thought, I raised my kids, I had a business, I worked, I did all that stuff. But I didn't take care of my own country. And I walked out of my bedroom, dialed that number, and I haven't looked back since. November 19th, 2008, and I have not spent one day that I haven't worked on this country and this state and North Dakota and South Dakota and every other state. For me, this is not about me getting elected to office. This is about coming out to all of you and talking to you. We've been out door knocking, and so I thought, what can I talk to them about? I heard on the radio yesterday, Bob said I was going to talk about cap and trade, so I will. I'm against it. We have our own version of cap and trade in Minnesota. We're going to see if we can't fix some of that. Then I thought, well, okay, I'm in North Dakota. Now I find out lots of people from Minnesota are here, so we have some issues in Minnesota. And then Bob came up, and he started talking about state government versus federal government. So I'm going to talk to you about that. When you look at government, do you feel a little frustrated with Washington? Yeah. Do you know where you can make your biggest effect? It's in your local government. We were in Washington, and one of the things for CPAC, y'all know what CPAC is? I went with the Scott Hennon conservative tour. It was a blast. Honestly, if you guys get to do that, go again. Scott gets you behind doors you never get behind. There's your plug, Scott. Anyway, at CPAC, we had a little talk about ACORN, and it's pretty active in Minnesota. We're probably finding that out now for sure, something we already knew. And one of the things they said was, if you aren't running for office, you go home and you find out who is. Washington is many election cycles away from getting fixed. We're going to fix this country in the states, and we're going to fix it right down the middle of the country. We have the values in Minnesota and North Dakota that this country needs. Family, God, and country. Yeah. Woo. So part of that comes from within us. So I'm going to, now stop me if you've heard this one before. Johnny and Janie are running for class president. And Janie goes home, that's me. And Janie goes home and she works with her parents and she works with all the other kids on her campaign in the class to get her elected. She lays out a really nice plan of how to make that class personal responsibility, get your homework done, a little fun after school. She gets up and makes this great speech. And little Johnny stands up in the front of the class and he goes, if you elect me, I'll give you free ice cream. He won in a landslide. And the point in that is that if we want government to get off our back, we have got to stop letting government buy us off.
That's right. Yeah.
Woo! So we've been outdoor knocking now, and I'm trying to bring this message of conservatism out to the voters. And if you don't think they're not engaged, I'm going to tell you they are. There isn't hardly a door we're knocking on, and we're not knocking those strong DFL doors. They're just, they've had the Kool-Aid. They're going to have to come to it on their own. But the people are engaged, and so this is what I tell them, because it's overwhelming to think about the state government, the federal government, all the stuff that they're trying to do, fighting City Hall. Every one of you has to do is bring one person to the polls with you this fall. Talk to one person who didn't understand conservatism before today. Talk to one, change one mind, flip one person, and we will win this stuff in the fall in a landslide.
Yeah.
And then once we get elected, and this is a Michelle Bachmann quote I'm going to give you, we've got a tiny window of time. And we need to use that window. And that means each and every one of you needs to keep the pressure on those people that you elect. I'm going to be one of them, we hope. You keep the pressure on the people that you elect to do what they said they were going to do when they were out campaigning. If you tell me you're a conservative, I expect you to govern like one. That's what I expect to do, and I expect to take some heat for it. But I'm telling you, this country is worth it. Now, Scott, thanks. I want to thank you for getting rid of Alan Combs at 9 o'clock. Yay, I have something to listen to now. Now, if you could do something about Ellen Ratner. Sorry, I have to put the volume down. Anyway, you guys are great. Thank you so much. Keep doing what you're doing and bring one person with you to the polls that has never voted or doesn't understand conservatism, and we'll bring this country back.
Yeah. Woo. Thanks, Gretchen.